Hello everybody and welcome to episode 163 of the Let's Play World. I am feeling much better than I was last week. My voice is still a little bit froggy, but I have a lot more energy and I'm feeling pretty good in general. We are over here at the Nether Monument, and for those of you who joined me Saturday on the live stream, thank you for popping in. And as a reminder, this is what we got done. We added one side to our pyramid that's going to be part of our Nether Monument. I popped a gold block up there on top. I'm not sure if I love that, but I'll just leave it there for now. This will end up being totally enclosed. This hallway will continue into it and then turn right and head in this direction where we will build another pyramid. So there'll be two pyramids side by side, kind of connected in the middle with this hallway kind of leading through them. I think the hallway will probably make out of glass so that nothing spawns on it. This will likely turn into something of a mob farm. It'll just be covered in blazes and skeletons and wither skeletons and all of that, which will be kind of fun. And then I think ultimately what we're going to do is at the end of this little hallway, we're going to build a portal. And that portal will lead us pretty far away from where we are now. I'm not sure if it's far enough away for like starting over with our 1.21 world, but it'll open up more of the world so we can explore that. So today I think we're going to start off over here and add one more side to this pyramid, and then once we're done with that, we'll head back to base and see if we can get started on one of our formal gardens. So now we have two sides on this pyramid, and this sort of shows how tall the connection in the middle is going to be, because like I was saying, this path is going to go in, turn right, and then continue into the other pyramid. So the connection between the two pyramids will be about at that level. Did a little bit of an accent with the black stone here because I really like that. Here, what I'm thinking is maybe we will use like glass to make a connection between this and the pyramid, so it looks a little bit kind of ethereal, and also so we can get a view of this big old pyramid, which I think is just really cool looking. Inside, we peek in there. Oh, not too bad right now. A little bit of a mob farm earlier. I just had blazes all over the place shooting at me. But yeah, this is turning out pretty cool. Let's go ahead and leave this project for now and head back to the base. So the terrain on each side of the base is really different. On one side, it is pretty hilly. You can kind of see over here and over here. On this side, it's pretty flat. And then on that side over there, it's one giant hill. So each side is going to have a little bit of a different feel to it. I think what I want to do today is maybe work on this side, maybe work on the opposite side over here. This side's nice and flat, and so I feel like we can kind of get a general design for what these formal gardens are going to look like, and then once we have a general design, we can kind of deviate from that depending on the terrain. So for example, if we come up with a design on the very flat side here, and then we have a hill like this that interrupts that, then we can cope with that. But I think, yeah, starting over here with the really flat side, that's going to be our best bet. The first thing I'm going to do is just grab a bunch of temporary blocks, just a couple stacks of these here. That way we can kind of sketch out what we want things to look like and how much space things are going to take up. So like we did over here, I'm going to outline the edges so we understand how much space we have to work with. I'm going to add the gate in so that we can see that visually. And then I think I just want there to be a path that comes in from the outside and then just a big rectangle that will kind of form a perimeter of the garden. Have an idea of the materials that I want to use for the pathway. I think it'd be cool to do some unusual gray blocks and kind of play with those. And then I think we'll do some, you know, like shrubbery to kind of frame it out, and then decide if we want to do flowers or trees or statues or fountains or what. And it'll be different, like I said, on each side. So this garden will have a little bit of a character, that garden will be a little bit different, etc., etc. So first things first, let's frame this thing out. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. So on either side, I've got kind of the border of the formal garden. So that will be one edge and that will be one edge. And there will be a path that runs along there, across here, up this side, and then along here. And the path is going to be 5 blocks wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it'll be pretty decorative, you know, like gray blocks, but have a little bit of a trim on it. It'll look quite nice, I think. Between the path and the water, we're going to have about 5 blocks. So some room to do flowers or decorations, whatever we want. And then similarly over here, there will be 5 blocks between the wall and the path. Built a little gate, just like we did on the other sides. Again, a little different than the other ones, just to give it a little bit of its own personality. And on this side, we will either step up the path or dig into the side. We'll figure that out. But everything else, I think, is going to be pretty straightforward. This space here, I think I'm going to cover this up. And the reason I'm going to cover it up is, you might have noticed there's this big cave right there. And I am pretty confident, just because of how close everything is here, that they all run together. And so maybe on the live stream this Saturday, we'll explore this cave and see if we can figure out if it connects up with the other caves that we've been exploring. But yeah, I think flattening this out will just make it look a little nicer over here. So that's the plan. Next step, I need to get some stuff to use for the path. I think I'm going to do andesite, and I also want to do dead coral. So we need to find a warm ocean, which I'm pretty sure is just north of us, and see if we can collect a bunch of coral. Here we go. That's what I'm after. I don't think it really matters what color. I haven't really thought about that as far as which pattern I want. So we'll just grab a bunch of it. Okay, we're going to grab some andesite, some polished andesite, and some tough blocks and see if we can come up with a design for this path that we like. So what I want to happen is I want there to be 3 wide of kind of mixed stone, things like that. And then on each edge, we'll have polished andesite. So it'll look a little bit formal. Okay, I kind of like that. There's certain blocks I definitely like better than others. I don't care for the bubble coral. I think those are too kind of splotchy. So the coral adds a little bit of a purpley kind of color to it. And then the tuff adds a little bit of kind of this greenish. Okay, I figured it out. I was trying out a bunch of gray blocks with like tuff, and I tried cobble, and I tried deep slate. Gravel is the secret right here, because you can see it's got some of those kind of pink tones like coral has, but it also has a lot of gray like stone and andesite do. So that, I think, is going to be something like that anyway. It's going to be our path mix. It's kind of a weird, different look from a lot of our other paths, but I really like it. I like how it's a little warmer, a little more deluxe with this sort of border going on. So I'm going to work on that for a little bit and see if we can get that laid out. Okay, we're starting to look pretty good here. Really nice mix of materials. I think that's a cool look. And we're at a point now where we have to kind of decide, what are we going to do with this hill? Some of these materials have slabs, you know, stone and andesite, obviously. We can do slabs to kind of step things up. Gravel and coral don't, and so we'll have to be a little bit mindful of that. Another thing I was thinking about doing here is I've got some trees growing here to get leaves. And I kind of want to, again, to make this look real formal, do this sort of thing all the way along the path so that we have this very, very defined path. And then inside we can do different things with the space. I think that is going to be the plan for these areas. In the middle, I think we've got 20 some blocks across, so quite a lot of space to work with. And if we do this, we'll have 3 blocks between the walls, so plenty of space to either grow a tree or do some plants and that sort of thing. I think that'll look great. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice looking space once we get this kind of all finished up, and then we get that on all 4 sides. It's going to be a really, really awesome looking thing, especially on the map. Very excited about that. Speaking of the map, let's run up here real quick and take a look at it, because I'm very, very curious how this is coming along here. Oops, let's see. We are down here. So if we were to pop this off. Nice. Yeah, that's going to look really cool. So we'll have a big rectangle here, then we'll have one on each side, and then in the middle we'll do different things with that space, and then again between the rectangles we'll have space to work with as well. I think that's going to be a really cool look. Earlier when we were in the Nether, I had mentioned building a portal at our Nether Monument. So I wanted to show you on a map here, when we go into the Nether through our portal, we walk a little bit through a tunnel, and then we turn, and then we go past the mesa and the desert out this way, and we continue out, I figure, about this far. If we were to build a portal out at the Nether Monument, I think right out here somewhere is where it's going to take us, if I'm not mistaken. So once we get the Nether Monument done, we will build that portal, and that'll open up all of this space out there for us to explore. Lots of cool projects happening. I think between episodes, I'm going to play with the path a little bit more, see how it's going to sit in the hill next to the formal garden. And if you join me on Saturday during the live stream, we might do a little bit more work on the Nether Monument, and maybe we'll investigate that cave that's just east of the base. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.